If you're looking for an affordable pair of hearing aids that is still of quality, this video is for you. I'm Blake Cadwell, the co-founder at Soundly.com, where we review pretty much every hearing aid on the market, and we compare them side by side and publish our research and our notes to make you a more informed consumer. We hope you enjoy this video. Today, I'm just going to talk you through what affordable hearing aids really look like, what your options are, and then some of the best products on the market. So let's just start out by talking about what goes into prices. So there are a few different things that drive hearing aid prices. And a lot of people say, why are hearing aids so expensive? Typically, it comes back to a few of or one of these things. The first is that most hearing aids are prescribed locally in an office by a doctor or an audiologist. And typically they include bundled care. So if you buy a pair of hearing aids, you also get 3 years of service. Typically 2 to 3 years is sort of standard. So you're kind of paying for a whole lot in that upfront purchase for not just the technology, but the service. There's also a lot of specialized R&D that goes into hearing aids, and ultimately that drives the kind of unit cost of the technology itself. And then finally, as you may be all too aware, insurance and Medicare typically don't cover hearing aids. And so the cost often gets passed on to consumers, and that becomes really stressful or frustrating. And ultimately that leads people to look for more affordable options, which is exactly what we'll talk about today. So what are your options? You basically have a few different possible options. The first one, and this is the one that I suggest to many people, is to go with telehealth. So you still get the care of a professional, but you're doing it remotely through a screen. If you're not tech savvy, this can be difficult, but often it could save you a couple $1,000s on a pair of hearing aids. So you're looking at anywhere from $1,200 to $2,000 a pair if you go through telehealth. And we'll talk about prescription prices in just a minute. The second option you have is to go over the counter. So your price typically here would be somewhere between $700 and maybe $3,000, depending on the product you choose, but you'll program that hearing aid at home. It's kind of DIY, and that helps cut down, again, on the price of the final price that you will pay. The final option is discount local care. So let's say you still want to see a doctor locally. There are ways to find a doctor that will give you a lower price than if you just went into the phone book or went on Yelp and tried to find a hearing care professional yourself. We actually make this really easy on Soundly. If you click compare hearing aids up here and you click on any product you're interested in and say find care, we take you to our suggested kind of local discount retailer. We also publish all of the prices at this time. So those are really your main three options. There is another option, which is to buy something, maybe for a couple $100s on Amazon. I've tried a lot of these Amazon products, and typically I'm frustrated by their quality. They either break down or they're not customizable enough. I have not found a dependable product at that $200 or $300 price point that really delivers. Usually I'm seeing around that $600-700 mark. That's where the quality starts to get to the point where you might actually find something that's useful. So with all that out of the way, let's talk about the best products if you're looking for an affordable hearing aid. The first one is Jabra Enhance Select. So this is a telehealth service. The underlying technology comes from Resound, which is one of the leading manufacturers in the prescription space. Then they sell their hearing aids this way through telehealth for much less. So you can see that price at around $1,200, starting at $1,200. I love Jabra Enhance Select. I think it's a great overall product. Audicus, very similar, telehealth based. You send in a hearing test, they send you back your hearing aids, and then they can customize them remotely. So those are two options to consider in the telehealth space. The second group is OTC devices. So we talked about this a little bit, but these are DIY self-programmed devices. We have a couple of these. One that I really like and I've tested quite a bit is the Lexi B2 powered by Bose. Great product overall. Good, obviously a great brand. It's rechargeable. Does not stream Bluetooth, but it's pretty easy to customize compared to some other products, and overall has great value. You can see that comes in at just under $1,000. Another option in the OTC space, if you want a hearing aid that sits inside your ear, is the Sony CRE C10. Again, this is $1,000, comes from Sony. You customize it using an app, and this hearing aid is mostly invisible in most ear canals. And then another invisible option is Eargo. Now, this is a much more expensive option. Typically, you're looking at somewhere around $2,500 to $3,000 for an Eargo product. But this is the smallest OTC product on the market, and it's actually the smallest rechargeable market or product on the market in general, OTC or not. So good option to consider. And then another OTC option is Engage from Lucid. This product's around $800. And one of the things I love about the Engage product is if you purchase Engage over the counter and then you ultimately decide you want local care, Lucid has partnerships with Sam's Clubs all across the country. So you can take your hearing aids into a Lucid hearing center inside of a Sam's Club, and you can actually upgrade it into a prescription device, which kind of gives you an optionality that doesn't exist with most OTC brands. So those are some of your main options. Another is MD Hearing, another strong option. It's on the lower end of the price. The device itself is a bit larger, but the underlying technology is pretty good and the company is well trusted. And then, as we talked about, you can get local discount care on all of the kind of premium leading hearing aids. And so that would include brands like Phonak Audeo Lumity or Oticon Real or Starkey Genesis AI. These are all premium products that you might spend $6,000 to $8,000 on at a traditional clinic. If you go through Discount Local Care, you can often get those for maybe between $3,000 and $4,000. So those are some of your options. If you're looking for affordable hearing aids, we hope this has been helpful, and we wish you the best in your search.